Ring! Quick as a flash, Trusty put back her hand. The goblin with the magical badge groaned as her children picked up their backpack and drifted away. Don't go, he yelled. Watch me draw something else. Look how awesome I am. That's the bell for the end of lunch, said Rachel firmly. We have to go back to class. The goblin blew a raspberry at her and followed his friend inside. The naughty pair didn't even bother picking up their chalk before they left. I was so close, Trusty said when she and Rachel got back inside. Alison picked out of her hiding place. It was a very good try, she said cheerfully. If the bell had rung a second later, you would have definitely have gotten my badge back. Rachel gave Trusty's hand an encouraging squeeze. At least we know where the badge is now, she said. We just have to outsmart those goblins. Alison pointed her wand down the hall. Time to hide again, she reminded them. Mr. Beater is starting the lesson. When Kirsty and Rachel walked back into the classroom, there was an excited buzz in the air. Mr. Beaker had covered the tables with an old newspaper and laid out glue, scissors, and paintbrushes. In the middle of every table he'd also stacked interesting piles of old boxes and cardboard tubes. The children laughed and chatted as they put on their art aprons. Some picked up the boxes on their tables and started to play with them. Across the room, the silly goblins were using paper towel tubes to pretend swords, then bashing each other on the head. They are making mischievous already. One Kirsty looked. Mr. Bitter clapped his hands 3 times, then waited for everybody to settle down. This afternoon I'm giving you an art challenge, he announced. Every table should work together as a group. You have 1 hour to use the cardboard boxes in the middle to make a model vehicle. The group who makes the best one will get a gold star, and the vehicle will be put on display for the school superintendent's visit in 2 days. The teacher held up a model of a car that he'd made earlier. I glued this together myself, then painted the outside with blue paint. He continued, I bet you can come up with something even more creative. Oh, Mr. Bitter. Before Mr. Bitter could finish talking, the car's wheels dropped off, one by one. All fall off the disc went tumbling across the classroom. I don't know what happened there, he muttered, sitting down to get a better look at his little car. At the same moment, a pile extra box on the desk beside him fell over. Mr. Bitter winced as an empty egg carton bounced off his head. But the goblins roared with laughter. Their hoots got even louder when the egg carton landed on top of Mr. Bitter's motor car, breaking it into pieces. How strange, the teacher mumbled to himself, looking sad. I'm sure it was glued properly. Are you all right, Mr. Bitter? Asked Rachel. Yes, thank you, he replied. Okay, class, time to get started. Kirsty and Rachel were in a group with Adam and Amina. They passed around the boxes on their table, wondering what to make. Why don't we forget about wheels, suggested Kirsty, and make a sailboat instead? We always see such nice ones when we go on vacation. Do you remember, Rachel? Rachel's face lit up. She never forgot the pretty sailboats on Rainspell Island. Oh yes, she exclaimed, we could use this shoebox as a boat, then cut the sails out of a cereal box. I will cut out the sails, offered Adam. And I won't start on the boat, replied Amina, for the shoebox. She leaned over to take the box from Rachel when an ugly green hand grabbed the other side. I want that, snapped the goblin voice. We need it for our rocket. Before Richard and Mina could argue, the goblin had stuffed the shoebox under his arms and started back to his table. "Let him have it," said Kirsty. "We can use the other shoebox instead." She reached for the glue but somehow tipped it over, covering the table and boxes in white glue. "It's everywhere," exclaimed Rachel. The group tried to peel off the glue, but a lot of the boxes tore and broke into sticky pieces. "What a terrible start to making our boat," groaned Amina. "Look at my sails," added Adam. "They're all stuck together in a big wedge." Rachel and Kirsty felt their hearts sink. This art class was an absolute disaster. The girls would have to find Allison's missing badge fast. But where would they start?